All right, we should be live.
You know what we should get? We should get one of those. We should get one of those VTuber things. Because we talk, it like talks on screen. You can have one. I can
Yeah.
have one that can be in either corner.
Yeah. What would you want yours to be?
I would like mine to be Donkey from Shrek. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And yours can be let's see, can be one of the Blue Men from the Blue Men group.
No.
Because you're such a big fan of them.
Yeah. I feel like you're just trying to distract from the fact you accidentally shaved your whole beard off today.
Okay, that's. I mean, that wasn't really distracting. That was a really natural segue into it.
Yeah.
But I did do that,
So
so you're not wrong.
How did you manage that?
I was trying out a new trimmer, and I was doing my sideburns, and like I twisted it, and it kind of cut right into the sideburn. I was like, no, I can fix this, and I tried to do the sideburn, and then I just looked like a Hunger Games villain. And I'm like, oh, this is bad.
You should have just went for it, honestly.
No, that would have been worse. So I just had to shave the whole thing off.
I
Which I've recently shaved my head as well, so this is not my best look.
I can't believe Pratik beat me with the
thumb.
The thumb from Spy Kids. That was my first thought when you said I look like a thumb. But I was doing a Pokemon Go raid, so I couldn't get to it.
Oh boy, yeah. So it'll grow back. So yeah. I'm not too distraught, but at least I know what I look like with this.
You could always wear a mask until it grows back. Just say you're getting over something.
And no one's gonna believe that. And also, a mask doesn't cover your entire bottom face, right? It still pokes out at the end. So most people think I have a goatee, which is worse, honestly.
You could always do. You could pull off a soul patch.
I don't think I'm gonna be the guy who brings back the soul patch.
Brings back? It never went away.
Did it? When's the last time you saw a soul patch?
Listen, Cooper, if the fucking mullet can come back, soul patches can come back.
Did the mullet come back, though?
Yes.
Do people like the mullet?
People are actively getting mullets.
Who are these people that you're interacting with?
Idiots. Mainly.
People that you know.
Yes. I think there's a couple. It's their kids, but yes.
Oh, the kid mullet. Well, that's different. That's like a rite of passage.
No.
Every kid has to have one dumb haircut during their childhood. It kind of shapes who you are.
What was yours?
The bowl. The classic,
Yeah. I had that well into my teens.
And dang, did you pull it off?
I think it looked pretty good.
If only you could go for you should have kept it with the beard.
No, that would have looked really bad.
Well, there's still time to find out.
No, I'm not. I had a dream the other night where my hair was on the floor. My hair was so long there was like a foot of it on the floor.
That was a good thing? A bad thing?
No, it was just a dream.
I was if you woke up and gripped your hand and went, no.
No, I was like, oh, I didn't remember it being that long.
Very, very, what's the word? Blasé about it?
Yeah, not like the ones where your teeth fall out. Don't like those ones.
I've never had a teeth dream.
Really? I feel like I have those quite often.
I've never had one.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of one. It was very vivid. Like the back four molars just came out in a chunk in my hands. That was scary.
I can't say I've had one of those.
Not pleasant. Or you get a wiggly tooth and then it comes out.
Well, that's why you don't eat chocolate before bed, Sam. Gives you nightmares.
I'm not.
You're sitting in bed eating a bar of chocolate.
Listen, the relationship that me and the 1 pound each Hershey's have that I keep next to my bed on a nightstand.
You end every night with a pound of Hershey's, and every morning begins with a 5-egg omelet. You're a grown boy.
Oh man, I know no one's watching this podcast, but if you haven't seen Joe Pera, go watch that Joe Pera special. It is hilarious. I've been recommending it to everyone.
He has a 3-season TV show.
Does he really? Is that the Adult Swim thing?
Yeah.
I watched one episode of that. It was pretty good. Very relaxing.
It is a very relaxing show. Well, I say we jump into it.
Yeah, let's start. Do we remember what is this again? Right, yeah. Hello and welcome back to the Audio Shop podcast. It's been a minute.
About a month.
About a month. And it might be quite some time again. I don't know about you, Cooper, but I'm pretty much booked up for the rest of the year.
Every weekend?
Just about. It's going to be rough, I'll be honest with you.
What do you have next weekend?
Nothing next weekend, but just about every other weekend is.
No, I guess something. Thanksgiving is fair. And then the back half of December is basically, taken up with Christmas stuff, so that's fair.
And there's my partner's holidays as well, so suddenly that doubles the amount of holidays I'm going to.
They'll just do their holidays on like Tuesdays.
Yeah, let me just run that by them, all of them that have already been planned. But we'll get them in when we can. We got to do a Christmas one this year. At some point.
I do like having a Christmas album.
But this week we're listening to the new Rolling Stones album. New, quote unquote. It's been out for a little bit now. Hackney Diamonds by the Rolling Stones.
It's a new Rolling Stones album. In 2023. I mean, I'll give a little bit of history on Rolling Stones. We talked about them last month, but, to refresh your memory, obviously, formed all the way back in 1962, meaning they're over 60 years old now as a band.
It's an old band.
It's an old band. Not a lot of bands last 60 years. Of course, lead vocalist Mick Jagger, Brian Jones, guitarist Keith Richards, bassist Bill Wyman, drummer Charlie Watts. Sold 200 million records over the course of their life. One of the biggest bands of all time. But this one is one of their newest albums. Actually, their first one in a while. Their last one was 2005's "A Bigger Bang," and this is a little bit of a follow-up because their longtime drummer Charlie Watts died in 2021. So he actually contributed some tracks to this album, so I guess it's been a work in progress for a while.
Yeah, I thought they had said that all of the drum parts were recorded before he passed away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of them were. But it also features a lot of guest features from Elton John, or contribution from Elton John, Lady Gaga, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder. Mm-hmm. Their first album in quite a while. So with that, we can just jump right into it.
Yeah, jump into it with track number 1. Cooper?
Oh, sorry, I was reading the chat. I don't know how to speak and read at the same time. Track number 1, Angry.
I thought I dropped you there. But yeah, a little preface for this. Cooper and I just seriously upgraded our headphones. We now have the exact same headphones, so there's no difference there. Yeah, we did it totally for the podcast. That's exactly why we got these.
Because we are professionals here.
Yeah, not because we got a good deal and desperately needed new headphones. So I would say a little bit of grain of salt when we're talking about depth and clarity as we settle into the new digs. I don't know how much you've used yours yet, Cooper.
Oh, no, I've used my headphones quite often. So I'm getting used to them.
Because usually the only time I end up listening to music through my desk headphones is when I'm doing this. And I use my earbuds when I'm just out on my phone. Because I'm not carrying these around with me.
No, these are all desktop headphones.
Yeah.
They're too expensive to carry around.
Yes, I would shit myself.
But no, the first song, Angry, also one of their lead singles.
Yeah.
Starts with sounds a lot less bluesy and country than their last reviewed album that we did, Exile on Main Street.
Yes, we had some fun harmonies around the 50-second mark, and I was surprised with how good Jagger's voice sounded, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Mick Jagger is like in his 80s now.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
But I mean, it sounded pretty all right. I'm sure there's a lot of post processing on it as well, that helps spruce it up in the studio. But yeah, it doesn't have that much age on it, especially for someone who's been singing for the better part of 6 decades.
Yeah, and I was expecting it to be more I don't know, raspy than it was. He's got some real power there.
It's like a fine wine. It's just strengthened with age.
I wouldn't say that. That's going a little far.
Okay,
but
it hasn't diminished too much with age.
Yes. We get a good, nice little solo around the 2-minute marks. Little samey with the standard guitar on the song, but very minor nitpick there. I want a little bit more variety, but it's still a good solo.
It's not too much of a solo, but I think this is a solid solo or a solid single. Obviously, nothing too out of the park. They aren't reinventing rock music here in their 80s, but it's a solid rock bop.
A bit repetitive on the chorus, but you don't really notice it much on this track.
All right, on to track number 2, Get Close.
Sorry, I'm typing. I can't type it. I started typing type while I was trying to talk.
I like the vocalization on this one as well. It's a little noisier. A wall of sound in my Rolling Stones.
Is this what the kids call shoegaze?
I want my Rolling Stones shoegaze album.
I don't think you're ever going to get one of those. But I would say Jagger's mixed a little high during the chorus. It's just a little too loud.
Maybe a little bit, but considering how kind of noisy the background is, I think it makes sense that's a little more forward.
And I don't know if it's in my head, but there's this slight warble that sounds like autotune around the 1:15-ish mark. It might just be in my head, but as the album goes on, I'm fairly confident that they're autotuning him pretty heavily.
Oh no, I mean I'm 100% sure of that. I mean, I think the Rolling Stones have the resources to do a good auto-tuning job.
Yes. There was another album that came out, I would say the same thing, that didn't, though, but we can get to that with the spare tire.
Okay. Leave me wanting more.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously there's some auto-tune. I'm not surprised there's touch-up in the studio here. Obviously, I think that helps make his voice sound as good as it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the studio process.
It's just, it was just enough, and I was really listening for it, especially after the thing I listened to earlier. I was really listening to see if it would, if they would do it here as well. But it's not, they do a really good job of it. You really cannot tell.
Man, who knew the Rolling Stones had the studio resources to make a good auto-tune job?
But other than that,
the song has a sax solo. I think that's worth mentioning.
I was just about to mention that. You can't go wrong with the sax solo. I just wish it were longer.
Yeah. This album certainly doesn't have as much of the brass instrumentation as XL on Main Street.
No,
a little more traditionally rock.
But we do get a little bit of that in the next track.
Yes, track number 3, Depending on You.
We get a little bit of strings, but those are way in there, so I'll leave those for later.
Oh yeah, this one brings a little bluesier. I don't know, some more relaxed vocals, some honky tonk piano, a little more low key of a song.
I didn't really get that honky tonk piano. I did notice that Jagger seems to only have one vocal setting,
which is kind of scream singing.
Yeah,
Yes.
with a very similar note being held. He kind of hits, he like goes up and hits a monotone and then he comes back down. That's about every song.
Yeah, he has a pretty, vocal delivery. Mick Jagger's, not been the most technically impressive,
No.
rock singer, but he gets the job done. I think sounds fairly good on this album.
And there's some more auto-tune warble in here that I became more certain that it's happening. But yeah, with how that was the main thing I was listening to in every song, trying to catch the auto-tune, and they hit it really well. But then we get that solo with the strings coming in. Ooh, great instrumental progression, even if the vocal variety isn't keeping up.
Oh yeah, I think there's some interesting instrumentation throughout this album. It's not just grandpa rock.
No, it's also great grandpa rock. Get some blues in there too. And the ending vocals with the chorus are quite nice, though. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a nice build-up.
Mm-hmm.
Very energetic ending.
Nice finish.
Okay, going to track number 4 here. Bite My Head Off.
I could move to a better position to type, so I could do that faster, but I won't. Around the 1 minute mark, Mick Jagger's very energetic in the vocals, and then around the 1 minute mark he does a yeah, and it's so half-hearted. He's like, yeah. It's like, okay.
Look, so they just show in some parts of the album. Yeah, I mean, it's a little more aggressive rock here. It's got kind of like I'm not sure what the word is here. Not grungy, but a little dirtier, kind of sound in terms of like, clarity.
Mm-hmm.
A little more yelpy vocal delivery, yeah, which I don't care for.
See, I enjoyed this one. I think it was mainly that solo section. I wasn't listening so much to the vocals in this one as the instrumentation. We get that bass solo that comes in that just scratches some kind of itch I didn't even know I had. And then the guitar solo launches right off the back of it.
That bass is Paul McCartney.
I believe it.
Little artist known as.
It is really nice. And then around the 3:10-ish mark, the guitar goes completely into the right ear, but somehow they balance it in the left. I don't know what they did, but it's amazing.
Mick must have spent many a night in the studio getting this mixing just right.
It's a nice change of pace to hear such good mixing. We've had some real shitters recently, even with famous artists.
Yes, I'm about to say it's not always a resource issue.
Yeah.
As we've seen. But okay, we'll go on then to track number 5 then. Whole Wide World.
A whole new world.
A whole new world. A whole wide world.
WWW.
Which has this kind of, I don't know what to say. It's kind of like this, the chorus has this kind of sparkly feeling to it. Like it's a little too bright for kind of the more rock heavy verse.
I see where you're coming from, but I think it's worse later. So this one didn't bug me as much.
Yeah, I just didn't care for this particular particular song, and I know I shouldn't be listening to the lyrics, but these ones are particularly trite. I mean, not everyone has to be Bob Dylan singing about the Kennedy assassination or something. You'd expect maybe a little more age and wisdom to be singing into some of these choruses.
Was this the explicit one, or?
No, Bite My Head Off's the only explicit one.
Okay. Because that one was they just were throwing swears in there. It felt like just for the heck of it. But speaking about Bob Dylan, you gave me a perfect launching off point. He's even more of a jackass than we thought. Because he makes you lock up your phone in a personal box when you go to his concerts. So that way
yes, he doesn't want them to steal his soul.
you can't be contacted in case of an emergency. Or, the frequent mass shootings that happen in America, if someone needs to call 911, they kind of need to have their phone to be able to do that.
Classic Bob.
Also, apparently he just gets up at the end of the set and leaves.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
No, he doesn't bow or anything, or he finishes a song, gets up and leaves, and doesn't come back.
He's got places to be.
Yeah, he literally get on the tour bus and it'll drive away before people even realize he's gone. He's a bit of a jackass.
Sam, he is 128 years old.
He's supposed to be dead.
You belong in a museum.
I feel vindicated that my hate for Bob Dylan is justified.
That's all the evidence you needed.
Yeah. He's a twat. That's all I need to hear.
I think you just didn't like him to begin with.
Correct. And it makes me happy to know that I was correct.
I mean, that's a pretty minor thing.
No, it's not minor. So not minor, in fact, that every business that has mandated you lock up your phones has gone back on it because there has been shootings that happen and then people die because they can't call.
Oh, fair enough.
UPS did it. The United States government did it. It's going to happen one of these days, mark my words. Or Dylan's going to die first, one of the two.
Bob Dylan he gains the youth of every show he plays on. And he's going to be 180 years old singing about the...
God, I hope not. Remember when we ate food? Now it's just pills.
God Emperor Bob Dylan.
Oh, fuck me.
That's it. The year's going to be 2,380. Bob Dylan's 400 years old, and he's the only source of human knowledge we have the before times.
Hey, at least I'll be dead by
that point. We used to drink Coca-Cola. Almighty Dylan.
Everyone always loved all my songs, even the bad ones.
Well, that's got to be true. All the other stuff sounded kind of true.
Anyway, back to whole wide web, whole world web wide, whole wide world.
You okay? Talk about Bob Dylan, break your brain.
I'm having a stroke. We get some nice echo on the vocals around the 1 minute mark. It dropped off a tad quickly for me because I just want them to do something interesting with the vocals because it's been very samey throughout the whole album.
Yeah, nothing too special with the vocals. Like I said, Mick Jagger still sounded pretty good for his age, but
yeah, it's just the fact that it's all the same, right?
Oh yeah, he's not exactly changing it up too much here. Yeah. How about we jump on forward then to track number 6?
You don't want to talk about the solo?
Which solo?
In the whole wide world.
With the guitar solo?
There is one.
It's fine.
They put a filter on it that differentiates it from the rest of the song. I like that. They haven't been doing that for every track. Excuse me. All right, fine. We can go to track number 6.
Track number 6, Dreamy Skies.
Dreamy, not breamy.
I said dreamy.
I typed breamy. I was correcting myself, not you.
Which is it's a bit of a country cut. Old dusty road vibe here.
Yeah, I mean we're missing that honky tonk piano.
I mean, yeah, this one kind of has obviously the kind of country guitar, a little tambourine in the background.
Some real steel guitar, real slidey. Very
slidey. And Mick has a little more slower draw on this one.
The vocal styling is not that different though.
It's slightly different. It's a little more plodding.
He slowed down. That's about it. I really wish it was just a bit different. Maybe a different vocal filter rather than the same vocal filter for every song, jumping across the styles. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this one's a little bit slower. I see what they're going for with it.
I do wish
I think it's a little more energetic as it goes along.
I wish there was more lyrics as well. It's a little sparse there. They're kind of repeating the same thing. I mean, they got a fantastic harmonica solo to try making up for it. But
I do like that harmonica solo.
it is great, but maybe just one or two less choruses.
I mean, it's not the most interesting song, but I think it's a nice little change of pace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good song. Jump to track 7 if you're ready, Coop.
Track number 7, Mess It Up.
I'll say they did.
Oh. Wait, are you serious? Do you not like this song?
Yeah, the chorus is just, I don't know. I really do not like it. I don't feel like it meshes well at all with the rest of the track. It feels like it changes styles when it hits. It's wrong, and I don't know why.
It does have a little more of a modern kind of, I don't know, like a Target commercial.
Yeah,
feel to it.
it feels very sterile and modern pop.
Hey, look, one for you, one for them. Yeah, I don't super care for this one either. The vibe is very off.
Yeah. It's something about the chords being used. It's like they use chords in the chorus of the song that don't match what they're doing for the rest.
Yeah, it kind of jumps out at you in that way. I mean, it's got kind of I like the breakdown at 2:30. I will say where it gets a little funky, gets a little more rockin'. Kind of goes back in the chorus.
That chorus it's just too much. I couldn't handle it.
Well, then we'll go to the next song then.
It
Track
messed me
number.
up, if you could say.
Oh, We'll go to track number 8 then. Live by the Sword, featuring Sir Elton John.
Yes, and you can really hear his influence on that piano. I imagine he's playing the piano.
He is a piano player.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it starts a little more guttural. It's a little bit more of a throwback vibe, especially when that piano comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. John on the ivory keys.
Please, it's Sir Elton John. Put some
Sir
respect
Elton
on his
John.
name.
Knighted, even.
Mm-hmm. By the Queen. She's dead now.
That's yes. Coincidence? Yes.
Yes.
She lived to be 95.
That's just the march of time. I wouldn't call that a coincidence. Is it a coincidence that everyone who's knighted Sir Elton John has died?
Wake up, people.
But we've got that nice little solo to bring things together in the middle. Starting to sense a pattern with those solos now. There's some good depth, though, to this one that I really quite like. Got a little bit more going on in the background, kind of building it up to be a bit more dense.
Yeah, I think it helps with the piano, and it has a pretty fun guitar solo too. I mean, like you said, it's pretty predictable in terms of the placement, but it's still fun.
Yeah, it's a nice little song. I kind of wish the piano was maybe a little bit louder, a little bit more prominent. I mean, it's still up in there, but not as nice.
Oh, all right, then we'll move to track number 9 then, if you're ready, Sam. Driving Me Too Hard.
And again, the vocal stylings do not match the instrumentation, I would say.
I mean, I guess this one's a little off in that way, but I don't think it's as much as like what we were seeing on like Mess It Up or Whole Wide World.
Yeah, it's not as bad. It's just not as good as it has been, right? And there's another tick here with the auto-tune. I'm pretty confident it's auto-tune.
Mr. Jagger, what are you doing?
It's not that bad. They do a very good job with it. It just was driving me crazy. I needed to know, for my own sake, whether or not it was auto-tune. It's a bit too formulaic, I'd say, at this point.
This is 100% a B-side song.
you get to the midway point, you throw in the solo. Like, come on.
To be fair, I mean, classic rock's, that's kind of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, but it's just the fact that it's nearly the same spot every time. It's just a bit much.
Yeah, none of the songs really switch up the formula too much, except for one.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I appreciate that. It's just even when it switches styles, they still stick to kind of the same formula. Like, just shake it up a little bit. Maybe put the solo at the beginning to kind of lead it in. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit too formula.
Fair enough. Let's do one more formula song with track number 10. Tell Me Straight.
Well, I want to talk about those stacked out vocals at the end, though.
Okay. Sorry.
That would have been really nice if they that would have been to shake up the vocal line, which I've been complaining about. It's not bad. It's just samey. If they had done those nice stacked vocals at the end to kind of end the song, that would have been choice. But instead, they kind of just sprinkle them every once in a while. Oh well. Okay, now we can move on. Sorry.
The track number 10, Tell Me Straight. Which, to be fair, is actually a little different. It's a little more melancholic. And Mick's age is showing a little bit more through his voice.
Is that Jagger?
I would think so.
I thought Jagger was singing the backup.
Let me see. Tell Me Straight.
Because that doesn't sound like Jagger.
Oh, no, that's, sorry, you're right. That's Keith Richards.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's Mick Jagger.
I thought they just really dropped the autotune.
No, he doesn't sound, that's a completely different person.
I'm the crypt keeper.
No, yeah, Jagger's still on there. He's just way in the back. And I did not know how badly I needed a vocal mix-up. It was so much needed. The same filter being on all and all the same kind of delivery on every song is just a bit too samey. And this was very nice change of pace.
Yeah, no, it's a nice subtle song, kind of a cool down before we go into the last leg of the album.
Yeah. It sticks to the same tradition, though, of a few too many chorus repetitions and a solo right in the middle.
Yeah, but it kind of leads you into track number 11.
Yes.
Sweet Sounds of Heaven.
Sweet Child of Mine. Oh, no. Different song.
That's a good song. Which features Lady Gaga on the vocals.
And, not on vocals, but also Stevie Wonder.
And Stevie Wonder on the keys and piano, yes.
Mm-hmm. Which I would say it's also the longest song on the album by a significant fraction. And who would have known, if you have more artists working on a song, it gets better.
I mean, that's not always true, but I think they each fill in a role in keeping the song feeling fresh, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, Stevie is great on the keyboards.
Oh, yeah.
And Lady Gaga brings a certain amount of youthful energy to the vocal department.
She is really shredding her vocal cords at certain points during this. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah, she's throwing in.
She is. I was worried. There was one note she hit, and I'm like, that sounded like it just destroyed your throat. Dear Lord.
Giving it all of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And this one starts with a little more bluesy, a little more slow paced. But then some rock organ starts coming in the background. Mm-hmm. And the song has a very nice build-up, kind of paced throughout the 7-minute runtime.
Yes, the building is very good. It perfectly handled the long format. And I was just getting to the point where I was like, well, what part does Lady Gaga play in this song? And then she came in.
It takes a little bit of time to lead to her, but I like that. It kind of helps pace it out.
Yeah, it helps build up the song. I kind of would have liked if they used her for like a stacked choir kind of sound. I think that would have fit a little bit better with what they were going for, but it's Lady Gaga, so they're just going to go for the duet kind of structure they got.
I was hoping they'd go for like for a Smash Mouth style, or just a bunch of dudes in a bar going, "Why won't we be friends?"
No.
I think
No.
every album has to end like that.
No. It's a good cover. It's not the better version.
Incorrect. But we'll agree to disagree.
We've never done a War album.
Hmm?
That's who made it originally, right?
Yes, they did.
I had that on my original iPod Classic.
Your iPod Shuffle?
No, Classic.
Did you have a screen just with a little button and a wheel?
Yeah, the 160 gig one.
160 what? 160 gigabytes?
Yeah, I think, or maybe it was 16.
I was about to say, there's no way an iPod Classic had 160 gigabytes.
No. Yeah. iPod Classic. 160. It was literally a result when I typed it in. It was 7th gen.
There's no way.
Yep.
iPod
7th generation had 160 gigabytes.
And this was a 7th generation? When did that come out?
Whoa.
Oh man, they really did.
Good question.
Wow. I didn't realize they made
2009.
Huh. I didn't realize they're releasing iPods without much storage space.
It's basically just a hard drive.
I guess.
When you click a song, you can hear it spin up. It's really loud. It is basically just a mobile hard drive that they put a screen on, is all it is.
Classic.
I've still got mine. It's sitting upstairs.
That's how you listen to all your music.
No, God, no. The liquid crystal display is starting to collapse a little bit. The front's touching the back, so there's like
You'll have to switch over to your Zune here soon.
Oh no, the Zune's in the original packaging. That baby's going to be worth a fortune someday.
It's actually worth less than what you paid for it.
Yeah. I go to open it up. It's just been a vacuum sealed rock, like where somebody goes to steal something from the store.
You've been had. Bill Gates.
I've held on to this for 15 years. Anyway, Sounds of Heaven.
The song. Yeah, great song. Great burst open moment. It really builds well. Get
some nice horns around the 430 mark. They're pretty sure they're canned, and I would like them mixed a bit higher as they're kind of the focus when they come in.
No, it says they had live instrumentation here.
No, did they? Well, they recorded it to make it sound canned. I would like a little bit more brassy in my brass.
Yeah, no. Live instrumentation.
They're just a bit too
Ron
flat.
Blake and James King.
Not flat as in tone flat, but flat as in spatially flat.
James King played saxophone on Weird Al's Yankovic's album, Mandatory Fun. So, there you go.
We should do some Weird Al. We haven't done him.
We should do a Weird Al album. That'd be kind of fun.
But anyway, and then the song ends at the 5-minute mark.
I like it. It kind of has a long extended outro, and then it kind of explodes at the end again.
I was confused because, first we get some really nice bass synth that was kind of hidden down underneath everything, but then it also almost makes it sound like it's like studio talk at the end, and then it comes back in full.
Yeah, it kind of has like a live jam session feel in that section.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's that caught me off, and I usually really enjoy that kind of stuff, but it's I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of that whole restart section. I feel like it was just a little too awkward,
I liked it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Well, there's still one track on the album. Track number 12, the final track, Rolling Stone Blues.
Yes.
They said the thing.
They said the thing.
I clapped.
I clapped when they said the thing. This one's very different.
Yeah, it's more like an outro than like Sweet Sounds of Heaven's like the actual close, and this one's like a little bluesy harmonica ending.
Yeah. We get a new vocal filter finally on Jagger for the first time. And it almost sounds like the way they record it sounds like he's sitting playing all the parts. He's singing, he's playing guitar, and he's playing harmonica. Which I don't know he wasn't, but I'm going to guess he didn't.
I don't know. It looks like it's actually a cover. Now that I'm looking at it, by original song by Muddy Waters.
Hmm.
So I guess they just throw in a little cover on it.
It is very nice. I was making fun of him initially because I thought all catfish were freshwater, but actually there are some saltwater fish.
Wow, a good thing you read that before you made that comment. Or we've been torn up hard in the chat.
Yeah. And I really enjoy the live feel of this one. It's really nice. It's a very good way to end the album.
It's a nice little closer.
Nice little bow to wrap it all up.
And that's the end of the album.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Well, Cooper, do you want to give us a... Well, we gotta say our favorite and least favorite first. That's right.
Of course. Let's not get
been too long. I don't remember how this works. So, Cooper, what was your least favorite song?
I'd probably have to go with Whole Wide World.
Really?
I didn't really care for that one. It's very trite, in my opinion. It's lyrically, instrumentally, fine guitar work, but overall, just like a little annoying of a song. I didn't care for Mess It Up either, though, to be honest. It won me over a little bit by the end, though, with its kind of breakdown, so...
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it the worst.
That Mess It Up was the worst for me. It just, that chorus really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why.
Oh, then what was your favorite album?
Favorite song, you mean, not album?
Yes.
I was very partial to Bite My Head Off.
Really?
Yeah, that the instrumentation in that one is really strong, I think. Probably strongest on the album. I will admit, I wasn't really listening to vocals on that, so maybe if I go back and focus specifically on the vocals, it won't be as good. But the instrumentation in that one really knocked me out of the park compared to everything else.
That's fair. That was a good one. I really like Sweet Sounds of Heaven.
That is a good one too. Yeah.
I feel like the album was made around the song.
Yes.
The other songs are just kind of an excuse to make it an album. Because they couldn't just release a single after 15 years, right?
Yeah. That's definitely the strongest song. I will agree with you on that. But yeah, we give it a rating here. Do you want to explain to us the rating system, Cooper? I have no idea who did it last time.
Yes, of course. Well, here at the audio shop, of course, Sam was gone for the last month, traveling the world, looking at unique and foreign cars.
Mm-hmm.
And what he found is that he hates them. He just hates cars. He was like, 3 weeks in, he spent thousands of dollars on travel, and he's just like, I'm just bored. So he just came back home. He gained nothing from the experience, and yeah, so real big waste of time. So that's why we made our podcast car themed, with showroom at the tip top. That's the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Then all the way at the bottom, you have scrapyard. This is the ooh yuck, get it away from me, bottom of the barrel garbage. And they'll have like a like new, fixer upper, used rental in between there. Give it a high or low depending on our mood. So with that said, Sam, what would you rate this album?
Oh, now that's a question, isn't it? I think I would give this a real solid fixer-upper. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's pretty good. Maybe a high fixer-upper. It's pretty good. It's a good listen. Not blown away by it. But it's pretty good. None of it, I would say it's all, the lows are not that low. It's pretty level. But the highs are not that high. They're higher than the lows. What about you, Coop? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna agree. High fixer-upper. For basically the exact same reason you said. There's nothing offensive or terrible on this album. I think we can agree that,
Yeah.
I think Rolling Stones just has had enough time to sand out the edges. But at the same time, it's nothing super stand out. I think Sweet Sound of Heaven is a great song, but
yes,
beyond that,
stand out.
The rest of the albums, pretty standard rock or a little bit of bluesy here and there.
Mhm.
Which I mean, I'm not expecting the Rolling Stones to be putting at their peak, 6 decades in. That's hardly fair.
Yeah.
But I think it's it's giving a Rolling Stone fan what they want, but nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good evaluation of it. Well, that's the album. That's
That
all
is
we've
the
got.
album.
Now we're gonna roll on over to the spare tire, which is just whatever else we've been listening to the past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. However long it's been. It's been a while.
It has been a hot second.
I've been listening to some things, Cooper.
Oh, well, what have you been listening to?
I listened to Ringo Starr's new EP that just came out.
I did see that, and then I abruptly forgot about it.
It was the instrumentation and the structure of all very good. Holy shit, that's some really bad auto-tune. I don't know who his producer is, but that was a horrible decision. It is bad. I'm talking, this is like early 2000s levels of auto-tune. He sounds like T-Pain. It is not
that's
good.
What he was going for.
It is
People
not
like T-Pain.
good. I listened to the whole thing, and it was pretty consistent throughout, and it was not good. It's really bad. The songs were good. The auto-tune it ruined the whole thing.
Well, that's fair. I don't think when I hear Ringo singing, I'm not like, what? He was bad? Never really been a strong suit.
Yeah. And then what else? I didn't get a chance to listen to the Beatles' new song. I was intending to do that before we did this with my new headphones, but then I ran out of time. So I'm going to listen to that after this.
Good. I like it.
Jeff Lynne was producer on that.
He was the producer. It's kind of weird that in the middle of it, you just hear back in the background go, "Hey, Jeff. Hello, Jeff."
All right, Jeff. Take it easy.
They must forgot to edit that out.
Yeah. What else did I listen to? I've been listening to a lot of Daft Punk again. I just can't get enough of Daft Punk.
You're daft for those punks.
Those punks are daft. What else? I'm pulling up my Spotify. Been listening to a lot of Over in the Garden Wall, of course. 'Tis the Season.
Great album. Also listen to all of that.
King Gizzard, of course. I didn't listen to their new. They just had something come out. I didn't listen to it yet, though.
I did listen to that one.
Was it an album or is it just a?
It is an album.
Jesus Christ, they're so prolific.
It's a 2-hour album.
God damn it. Okay, I'm not doing that anytime soon. At least not the whole thing.
To be fair, it's an interesting. It's an interesting format where the first third of the album is like the album, and then like the last 2/3 are like the
extended,
like the extended editions of each song. But I mean, these are like some of them are like 15-20 minutes long.
I wish it showed you the song lengths on mobile Spotify.
So
I've also been listening to Satisfaction by I hit play. Don't do that. By Benny Benassi and the Biz.
You can say that again.
You've probably heard it. I mainly enjoy it for the electronica. Yeah, that's what else has he done? I'm not recognizing anything else he's made. At least I can't get to anything else he's made easily. Listen to more Santana. I don't remember if we had done a podcast when I was on the Santana kick, but I've been on a Santana kick.
You're a brave man. I'm
Old
not sure
stuff.
if I could listen to his stuff again.
Old stuff, not the new stuff.
Make me sad.
Yeah. Just ignore the new stuff. You listen to anything fun?
I listened to some stuff this last couple of weeks.
Obviously,
Sufjan
the
Stevens released.
Gizzard album.
Well, yes, the Silver Chord by King Gizzard. Pretty good album. Not my favorite of theirs, but I thought it was pretty fun. New Sufjan Stevens album, Javelin, was excellent.
Did he pass away?
No. He just released an album.
I feel like I just remember hearing some news about him.
You'd be incorrect. Man is still alive and just made a very good album. Listen to the new Olivia Rodrigo album, Guts. I thought that was pretty good as well. As well as the Lamp album, Dusk to Dawn. I'm a big fan of theirs. Let's see, any other interesting... Marina Herlop released a new album. Nekuja. I was telling my brother it's like the music that they put over like a sped up footage of fungus growing.
Okay.
Very earthen, like witchy music, which I like. Yeah, so a couple of new albums, new releases that came out that I quite enjoyed. Excuse me.
Well, that's that. We've covered a lot in the past month. This is now a monthly podcast,
which means the quality is only going up.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd say probably going down. Anyway, that's the show we've got for you today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you've liked what you've heard and you would like to see more, you can scroll down on the Twitch page. There's a picture of Jeff Lynn. He's the guy with the aviator sunglasses. Take you to our YouTube page where almost all the past episodes are. And if you're on YouTube and you want to watch this live, it's usually Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, although for the rest of the 2 months of the year, it's going to be a little sparse. But to get updates on that,
you can follow us at Twitter. That's X, I believe.
Don't call it that. It's Twitter.
the platform formerly known as Twitter. At Audio Shop Pod. That's POD. We'll let you know what we're listening to and when we're listening to it. Yeah, and like I said, we'll have a couple more in us. For before the end of the year, hopefully. We'll have to plan those out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our good old-fashioned monthly podcast. Finally back at it.
Hopefully it's a little bit more than that. But in the new year, new us, it'll probably be still sparse. We'll see. We got something big planned, though, for the 5-year that I need to finish working on.
I just can't believe you found a blimp that large.
Hey, keep it under wraps.
Sorry.
Don't go spoiling the surprise. But anyway, that's all we got for you today. We will see you next time.
See you later, shoppies.
See ya.